Hi, everyone. I'm Monique with MD Consulting. I'd like to talk to you today about decision making. My clients are in high level positions and they have to make decisions constantly. They have to make these decisions very quickly, especially when there are escalations and issues come up. They need to make decisions quickly, they need to gather information quickly and report back to others regarding the status of things. Now, here's the problem with fast decision making. Many people, including myself, are not fast decision makers. Some people need some time to process information a little bit more slowly than others who can absorb it quickly, come up with answers, come up with solutions, and provide status updates. Now, the people that process information slower, many times in coaching, they come to my sessions and they say, I don't know what to do. This is how I'm wired. I process things slowly. I need some time to think things through before I can come up with a solution or before I even know what the next step is to take. So, how do I rewire my brain to do all of that quickly? That's just not something I know how to do. Now, it's a valid concern, and I would have to say about 50 to 60% of my clients are the type of clients who process information very slowly. Now, there's a lot of benefits to that because typically, if you're processing information slower, you're more thorough, you have more time to do a little bit of research before you have to come up with a solution. But in reality, that's not always possible to take that kind of time. So, in coaching, what has proven successful as I work with my clients is that we come up with a process for them that helps them almost prepare for urgent situations. It's a process that they know in advance that they can go through to help them get through the information processing sequence a little bit quicker. Now, it'll never be as ideal as someone who is wired in a way where they can process things very quickly, but this seems to work for them. And what we do is decide ahead of time that this process is going to include answering questions of who, what, when, where, why, and how. And if they can do that as quickly as possible and come up with some information that they can deliver out in the form of a status update rather quickly, and then come back later with more information to fill in the blanks. And if they do that, that way they can communicate information to either direct reports, teams, senior managers in a quicker way. Because what they're doing is saying, okay, this is the information I've gathered at the moment. Here's where we stand at the moment. I'm still researching. I'm still waiting on some other answers from other people, and I'll get back to you with more information in X amount of time. Now, most people who are receiving that kind of information are usually pretty okay with waiting a little bit longer until they get another update. People don't always need the complete answer and the complete solution right away. What they want is information. It doesn't have to be the actual solution. So for those of you out there who process information kind of slowly and you can't come up with immediate solutions, at least follow a process that will have you collecting as much information as you can in the moment. Give yourself a certain amount of time, like within 3 hours, I'm going to gather this amount of information and give a status update. That way you're satisfying the curiosity, you're satisfying the anxiety of the people who are waiting for information. And at the same time, you're letting them know There's still more information coming, and I'll get back to you in another 3 hours, or I'll get back to you tomorrow by 5 p.m. So you're kind of staggering the way that you deliver information. And most of the time, people accept that because they know that there's going to be more information coming. You're not going to know everything immediately. But the mistake that some of my clients make, because they are slower at processing information, is that they want to wait until they have all the answers, they've done all the research, even if it takes 2 weeks, and then they give the status update. Then they give the possible solution. And by then, anxiety is way too high for your stakeholders. They're wondering what's going on. Why aren't you getting back to them? So, a way to shorten that life cycle is to set a time limit for yourself of a few hours or whatever's appropriate for the situation. Gather what you can by asking yourself who, what, when, where, why, and how. Try to answer those questions within the moment, with what you know in the moment. Give that information as an update, and then continue to get those questions answered in more detail, but you'll be staggering the delivery of your information. That usually pacifies the people who are waiting, and it allows you the ability to give information almost immediately without having to wait forever to process and to come up with the final answer. This process seems to work for my clients, so they somewhat prepare ahead of time with this thought in mind, and then they keep this kind of in the back of their mind for when a crisis comes up or when there's a fire and they need to react quickly, because in a sense, they are reacting quickly. They just don't have the final information yet, and that is coming several hours or several days later. And that seems to satisfy the stakeholders. If you are someone that processes information a little slowly and you feel like you're not as quick to react as you want to be, this hopefully will help you. Now, there's another resource I would like to tell you about really quickly here. It is a book. It's by the author Malcolm Gladwell, and it is called Blink: The Power of Thinking Without Thinking. It is specifically written to help people who process information a little slowly, who make decisions a little bit more slowly. He gives a lot of great tips and techniques there as to how you can speed up your decision-making process. I hope this was helpful to you. Have a great day.